Hello, my electrolytes. How y'all doing today? So now we're gonna do responses to the Gabbie show on BLM and the White Privilege, man. So let's go, guys, and let's see the level of stupid ready to rise at the peak. Viewer discretion is advised for stupidity. So let's go, guys. Due to the level of stupid, viewer discretion is advised. Rated M for Misinformed.
Hi, so I tend to avoid making videos like this for a few reasons. One, I try really hard to stay pretty non-political on the internet.
You're just looking to get a little rise in views, so now you're trying to make a political video on the internet just so you can see the little views go up. How wonderful you stay out of it till you need some views. How wonderful.
Two, although I try every day to learn and expand my thinking, I know that I'm still probably not the most woke person, and I'm
Do not use woke. It's the most cringiest thing on the internet. I want that phrase to go away. Just bury it, please. Please stop using it.
probably still really ignorant. In fact, not probably, definitely still very ignorant in a lot of topics. I don't like to speak in topics that I don't feel 100% educated in.
Speak your mind on any topic. I have no problem with that. If you're not really, as you call it, educated in a subject, go ahead and do just like research or whatever. But you can speak on any topic you want. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can speak on any topic you feel like it. Don't feel nervous to speak on anything just because you're a different skin color than the next person. Go ahead and speak. But if it is wrong, I will challenge that. So as long as you don't mind that, I will challenge that if it's wrong. But go ahead and do your research and like present your case anyway.
And I don't want to offend anybody or spread an opinion that is ill-informed. Three,
That's fine. An ill-informed opinion is not good. You got to come up with rational sense and logic to come up with an opinion. That's fine of you. I agree with you on that. You don't want to spread an ill-informed opinion. Okay.
I don't want people to look at this and think that I'm just hopping on a trend for views.
Well, at the time this was made, Black Lives Matter was going on, and it's still going on to this day in 2017. So yeah, you want to get like the little views and the clicks on your video to your 3 million plus subscriber audience. Gotta make the revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Don't really like when people rehash the same thing that everybody else is saying just for the sake of being current. And I would never want to exploit any of these topics for clicks.
Hmm. You have 3 million plus subscribers, an audience which anybody would love to have, and you do a video on Black Lives Matter, the most trending thing right now. You're kind of doing it to get like the clicks and the click on your video for people to see your opinion. You know, so they both go together just to get the clicks and the views. You know what I'm saying? You got to do whatever you got to do.
However, in this case, I do feel that I have something that I can add to the conversation.
Like any opinion is welcome, sure. But if it's like a wrong opinion or a misinformed opinion, I have the right to challenge that. That's how open discussion works and how open dialogue works. So any opinion is welcome. But if it is wrong or misinformed, like I said, I have the right to challenge that. So go ahead and give your opinion, and if it's wrong, I will challenge that. So let's go.
I feel that I have things to say that haven't really been said yet, or maybe not in this way. And maybe I can help people see things in a way that they weren't able to see before.
It's always good to see the other side, but if it's misinformed, like I said, I will have to challenge that. So let's go, Gabbie. I got fried chicken tonight, so let's get going, Gabbie, and let's see your opinion on Black Lives Matter and the All Lives Matter hashtag. So let's get going, Gabbie.
Although I am extremely nervous to post this because I don't want to mess it up.
So nervous, Gabbie. Why? You don't have to be nervous if your opinion is misinformed and steeped in a bunch of SJW rhetoric and misinformed rhetoric at that, I can challenge it. So go ahead and give your opinion. Like I said, let's go. I got things to do, Gabby. Let's go.
And I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I know that I'm welcoming a lot of backlash for posting something so controversial. I was, for some reason, whatever reason, blessed with a huge platform and I can reach a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, having a huge platform is a blessing. I would love to have like your audience size. That way I can get my message out a lot better. But I'm blessed with the 56 subscribers that I do have. But if you're spreading lies or misinformed things to your audience, then that's where I draw a line. That's where I don't like. I don't like when like content creators spread misinformed things or lies to their audience. Makes their audience think and like they go out and do the wrong things and they feel guilty for no reason. So as long as you're not spreading lies or anything like that to your audience, which I know you will in this video, I'm gonna be okay with it. But as I could see in this video, and I have seen a video beforehand, you're spreading lies to your audience and making them feel guilty for things that they have done in their lives, which they haven't done anything wrong at all, Gabbie. So let's see your misinformed opinion on Black Lives Matter and the white guilt myth, which I hate the white guilt myth. I do. There's no such thing as white guilt at all. It's just working hard in life. So let's go.
And while there was a good chunk of me that knew it would be a lot easier to stay silent on this, I don't think that it's right of me to ignore it and keep posting silly story time videos when I have the power to shed some light on a very important topic.
Fair enough. Yeah, you have the power to do that. And it is your channel. You can do what you want with it. So let's hear your opinions and shedding light on this whole thing. Let's hear it.
If I say something wrong, if you feel that it's not my place to speak on this, if I offend you in some way, in advance, I am sorry.
In advance, Gabbie, you're not going to offend me at all. Seriously, I'm not one of those BLM SJW people that's going to get offended very easily and say, you're racist, you have white privilege. No. I'm one of the more sound and reasonable ones here on YouTube. So, you're not going to offend me at all. But if your opinion's misinformed and steeped in white guilt kind of thing, then that's where I got to tell you. You need to wise up and lighten up because there is no such thing as white guilt. It's just working hard in life, Gabbie. So, you don't have to apologize. You're not going to offend me at all. So, let's see what you got to say, and if it's wrong, I will challenge that with logic and fact and reasoning, in my opinion.
So here I go. The first thing I want to address, not only because it genuinely hurts me and the public at large, but also seems to be a topic of great disagreement and tension, is the debate between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter.
Let me tell you the difference between Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a racist terrorist organization and only seeks to divide more than it joins. Yeah. And it only cares about black lives. But when a white person is shot by the police, no, they're not going to care. Where's the outrage? Where's the outcry? So, and if an officer gets shot, they're not going to care, to be honest with you. They only care about something if it fits their narrative, which is disgusting. All Lives Matter is not a political movement by any chance, but All Lives Matter seeks to join all the races white, black, Mexican, Asian, any life. It matters to them. So that's why I say All Lives Matter, because I say every life matters, not just black ones and not just specific one you pick out in your special movement that seeks to divide more than it joins.
The argument here is stemming from the fact that a lot of people, mostly white people, are offended by this. Somehow people are taking the movement Black Lives Matter and reading it as Black Lives Matter, white lives don't.
Black Lives Matter only cares about black lives when it fits their narrative and fits their bill. But if any black person challenges them outside of that, they will call them coon, porch in, house in, field in, the whole bunch if they challenge them. So that's why I don't join Black Lives Matter because they will condemn you if you disagree with them on any political or social issue that fits their narrative, fits their bill. And if you say anything disagreeable about it, they will call you those names. So that's why I don't subscribe to Black Lives Matter. I subscribe to All Lives Matter because All Lives Matter means every single life matters, including black ones. So that's why I don't subscribe to that kind of thing, Gabbie. Not at all.
Now, I personally don't see anywhere in this hashtag only Black Lives Matter.
Word being Black Lives Matter. It'll take you a second to think about it, but think about it. Black Lives Matter. Think about it. It's in the hashtag itself, and it's in the political movement itself. It shouldn't be that hard for you to think about it. Really, it shouldn't be that hard. Come on, it takes a little bit of critical thinking skills. But I'm pretty sure what you don't have to begin with.
Or Black Lives Matter more than other lives, yet somehow people are still becoming really offended and maybe even threatened by it. So if
I wonder why people are becoming threatened by Black Lives Matter. Oh, I will give some examples here in a few seconds to see why they are threatened by Black Lives Matter itself.
I may, I'd like to explain this trend in the form of a simple logic exercise that we were all taught in grade school.
I need to hear come out of your mouth is logic. Because you have no logic whatsoever. You steal jokes from them. So the last thing I need to hear from you is logic. So let's hear logic on this prevailing subject.
This is called a syllogism. Basically, there is a major premise, a minor premise, and a conclusion. An example would be, Gabbie is a human. All humans breathe air. Therefore, Gabbie breathes air.
Worst syllogisms and the worst analogy that I've ever heard in my life. So how's this analogy going to even remotely prove your point at all? How's it even going to remotely do that, Gabbie? Because that was the worst thing I have ever heard in my life. The worst analogy. The worst.
This is sound logic.
Oh, this is sound logic, really coming from a person that can only come up with their own jokes and uses jump cuts in every few seconds. That's sound logic. Yeah, hearing logic out of your mouth is like hearing astronaut instructions coming from me when I know nothing about NASA.
However, if you mix up the premises a little bit, for example, Gabbie breathes air. All humans breathe air. Therefore, Gabbie is a human.
That makes sense. But I have a feeling you're gonna say, no, that doesn't make sense at all. I have a feeling you're not gonna say that makes sense at all. Because if it was, this video would be over already. So let's hear your explanation for why that's wrong.
This is not sound logic because Gabbie can be a sloth or a toucan. Now let's make this relevant. All lives matter. Black lives are lives. Therefore, Black lives matter. Notice that nowhere in this logic does saying that Black lives matter discredit the fact that white lives matter as well.
Oh my god, my brain hurts. Look, it's in the keyword Black Lives Matter. It's only saying Black Lives Matter if it fits their narrative, Gabbie. I cannot believe it is this hard for you to figure out at all. It is the most simple thing to figure out. It's just like grade school level of critical thinking skills, Gabbie. All lives matter means every single life matters, including black ones. But Black Lives Matter saying only Black Lives Matter when it fits their narrative. And anyone that challenges them outside of that, it's called names. How hard is it for you to figure this out, Gabbie? How hard is it? Come on now. I shouldn't have to explain first grade level critical thinking skills, Gabbie. I shouldn't have to. You're old enough to know this already.
All lives matter. Of course they do. This isn't a trade. Nobody's trying to exchange black lives for white lives.
You come to that conclusion from? Where? No one said anyone's trading anything like their Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. No one's trading Black Lives and White Lives like their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We're just saying Black Lives Matter is racist. It is. And All Lives Matter includes every single life in the world. While Black Lives Matter includes only one special one that think they should get privilege and reparations and everything like that when they shouldn't, when they haven't done anything. But it's nothing but a bunch of privileged millennials whining about how they're oppressed when they're banging off of daddy's butt almost all day. So, what in the world are you talking about, Gabbie? Oh my god. Ugh.
But I hate to break it to you, maybe white people don't need a movement.
White people need a movement. It said all lives matter. It didn't say white people's lives matter, while it's Black lives matter, while Mexican lives matter, while keychains lives matter. What in the world are you talking about? It said all lives matter, including black ones. I cannot believe you're way off the point and way off base with this. I cannot believe you're missing a mark by 1,000 feet. I cannot believe this. It's all lives matter means every single life matters in this world, including black ones. Black Lives Matter, it only includes one that thinks should get special privileges when they shouldn't. It's nothing but a bunch of millennials complaining and whining when they got it the easiest in this world. Come on, Gabbie. How hard is it for you to see it? It's right in front of your face, but yet you refuse to see it, Gabbie. Come on, please. Man, you're really making my brain hurt right now.
At some point, we need to realize that a lot of these deaths are systemic and biased. Nobody's trying to tell you that white people also haven't been killed by officers, and nobody's trying to tell you that black people haven't also killed white people.
Then why are you following Black Lives Matter, Gabbie? If you think that black people being killed by officers and white people being killed by black people is fine, why not join the All Lives Matter movement? They care about every single life in this world, not just one specific one that thinks they deserve special treatment, like it's the 1950s or something, which it isn't. Why are you following that kind of movement that expresses that victim mentality rhetoric? I don't get that. See, your two logical conclusions don't make sense. They don't pair up. Not at all. It's like steel and brick. They won't go together, Gabbie. It won't at all. So I don't know why you're following that movement at all. That makes your logic implode on itself. It does. So you following a movement like that is invalidating the point you just said earlier. Oh boy, man, your logic makes about as much sense as me banging my head against the wall for exercise.
But there does need to be awareness raised that if not racism, then at least a very deep-rooted prejudice still runs very deep in this country. If you
deny that some racism still exists in this world, but it's not as rampant as BLM makes it. They act like KKK members are standing on every street corner where they walk with burning crosses. That's not how it is. It has changed. Progress has been made throughout time. We are a little bit more tolerant of different races than we were back in the 1950s. So BLM is just making it out to be like it's the 1950s all over again, and we went back in time and we went swirled back in time. That's not how it is. It's 2017, so you're following a movement that perpetuates that victim mentality is unbelievable, and I cannot take a word you say seriously if you're following that movement.
If you don't agree with me, I'm willing to bet that there's a pretty solid chance that you're white.
Gabbie, and I'm black. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to my channel. But Gabbie, the race of the person shouldn't matter that's disagreeing with it. If they have a valid point against BLM, they should be allowed to speak, just as you're allowed to speak on your platform. So the race of the person shouldn't matter. Not at all.
And that's not necessarily your fault for being uninformed. I was ignorant for a really, really long time.
Change, Gabbie. You're still misinformed. And you now reading BLM things and like white privilege exhibits, you feel guilty for working hard in your life and earning everything in your life, Gabbie. You're still misinformed, Gabbie. I don't know what has changed from then to now. I don't know what has changed. You're still uninformed or misinformed, as I call it. So nothing has changed, Gabbie. Not at all.
I grew up in a town that was extremely sheltered from the rest of the world, incredibly racist. And while I never hated black people or other races or identified as a racist, I am able now to look in hindsight at myself and realize that I was raised to believe certain things about certain races.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry that you went through that. I'm very sorry about that. That is terrible. But if you didn't turn out like them, that must mean something, right, Gabbie? That means you're not the racist that they are. So I don't know why you're trying to put that every single white person is racist, like those people that you grew up with in your town. Again, I am sorry that you went through that. That's terrible for you to go through, for you to see as a kid. But if you didn't grow up to be like them, shouldn't that give you a clue that you're not racist and not every single white person is racist in this world? Shouldn't that at least give you a clue?
As most of us probably were. But it is really important that if you are not a minority, that you check your white privilege.
Gabbie, there is no such thing as white privilege in this world. What you see as white privilege is people just working hard for what they have in this world. And if you think that's white privilege, that's retarded. It's really stupid. There's no such thing as white privilege, black privilege, or anything like that. You just work hard for what you have in this world. And if you want to call that white privilege, fine. Go ahead. But it's called people working hard for what they have. And they shouldn't be judged or demonized for working hard in this world and having the things that they have and all access to every luxury that's in life. Look at what like I got it here on YouTube. I worked for what I got here on YouTube. My audience. Do I have privilege? No, of course not. Because I worked hard for what I have. Nothing was handed to me here on YouTube. So for you to say, "Oh, you need to check the white privilege," is ignorant and a very ignorant statement, Gabbie. And I don't agree with that at all.
And this is the most important part of the video and the part that I really hope that you remember. I, not even that long ago, was very offended when people accused me of having white privilege.
You have some like a semblance of logic to say, "Hey, I don't have white privilege. I worked hard for everything I have." But nowadays, you're feeling the white guilt trip that they put on you, and you say, "No, forget all that. I just have white privilege. I didn't work hard for anything. It was just given to me because I'm white." Oh, that reminds me. I gotta go cash my black union check in a little bit, and I also gotta go cash my reparations check as well. So I gotta see you later, Gabbie. So let's go. No, Gabbie, that doesn't make any sense at all. Come on, Gabbie. You don't have white privilege. You just worked hard for everything you have. Back then you had sense and logic. Nowadays you're just feeling the white guilt trip. So what in the world are you talking about, Gabbie? Nowadays you just have a brain full of rocks. As soon as BLM got you with the white guilt trip, now you're officially running with rocks. You're just running with rocks, and it hasn't built anything yet.
I grew up very poor. I was the only white kid on my school bus, and every single day I was bullied.
Believe it or not, Gabbie, I was bullied in school too. I was, as a kid. People always said, "Oh, he's the quiet one. Watch out for him. He's gonna shoot the school someday." Now, in my head, I was like, "What are they talking about?" They made fun of my hair, my teeth, anything they can find, because there's nothing wrong with me except the physical appearance that they did in school. So, but I went grew up past that. My mom always told me, life goes on. You gotta grow up past it. You can't look at the past. Not at all. If I was to go back, I would tell that to me. It's gonna get better as life goes on. And as I grew up, I did YouTube at 18 years old, and I don't look back on it as a bad choice. I don't look back on it as a bad choice. I look at it as a good choice. It helped me grow, and it helped me get into more speaking to people. It helped me more logic, reason, and to help me get a better audience on this platform. So, Gabby, you cannot use the bullying crux as a thing to define you now. You really can't, Gabby. So, I'm not gonna fall for that bullying crux and just to get like emotional fallacy movement. I'm really not. Because I was bullied as well, but I didn't use it as a crux. Not at all. So, and I'm sorry that you grew up poor. No kid should have to go through that. I don't know what that feels like. But you should not use it as a like a little crutch for you to stand on now. You got grew up past that. So grow past that, Gabby. Don't look at the past. Look at what's now and look forward to the future.
I had no connections, no money, no important last name. Nobody ever handed me anything. I worked really, really hard, and I made something of myself.
Story, Gabby. When I was 18 years old, I had 0 subscribers and 0 views. I was a nobody. Nobody knew who I was. And I was like, why am I going to do this? The reason I started YouTube in the first place was to get over my fear of shyness and talking to people. I wasn't that good at it in school. Like, standing in front of people and talk wasn't my thing. I was like, what? And then when I looked at YouTube in high school, I was like, how do they do this, man? How do they go up there, just talk every single day without any fumbling or stumbling? So when I was 18 and I was in college, I started my YouTube channel. That's what I did. And you can see my first rant here on my channel. It's still there. I will link it in the description below. It's terrible. I was fumbling and stumbling my words like you would not believe. I was so shy. I was in the dark, so like being all edgy and stuff. But Gabby, my point is this: I grew past that and like to grow and made something of myself here on YouTube. I continue to do that, but there was a point in my life where I was gonna quit, but I didn't quit. All the time, you don't quit. It's not gonna happen overnight. But nowadays I got shouted out in a video the other time, and it felt good. Like it was good exposure for my channel and exposure for me as well. Because I didn't think back then I could get recognized like that at all. If you were to tell 14-year-old me that I was gonna get recognized like this, he would tell you you're crazy. So Gabby, I worked hard too, and I worked hard to grow my audience and like to get better at speaking and stuff without fumbling and stumbling. Everything here on this channel is improvised, Gabby, and not one thing is scripted. So it's harder to do. So Gabby, I worked hard as well, but I don't use that as say, hey, I have privilege, I have this, I have that, I'm better than everybody else. You should feel the way I feel. No, I'm not gonna use it like that, Gabby. Not at all. You shouldn't use it like that. Not at all. So that's my story, Gabby. Hopefully you take a little time to listen, and hopefully you'll change your mind.
And I felt that none of that had to do with the fact that I was white. I truly believed that my skin color had 0% to do with any of my accomplishments, and that there was absolutely no way that white privilege had any hand in my success.
It didn't. You just worked hard, and you got better at making your videos and stuff. But you steal jokes too, which I don't agree with that. But you got better at doing what you do. It's not your skin color that matters. Not at all. It's what you do and like the talent that you have, and you get better at it, and you advance more here on this platform, and you want to improve your stuff as a YouTuber or content creator. So it's not your skin that matters; it's your talent and your willingness and your drive to make better content for your fans.
And one day I found an article entitled Explaining White Privilege to a Broke White Person, which I will link below and highly encourage everybody to read. Basically, this person had the exact same story as me, only way worse. And
Source for this is Huffington Post. Man, they're not biased at all. Excellent article source. Excellent article source. No, Huffington Post is one of the most biased and most stupidest publications to ever live. I did a video on Huffington Post. Link will be in the description below. It's about like the catcalling thing where they like made unreasonable allegations to catcalling. But Huffington Post is not a credible source, Gabby, and it's the most biased news thing ever in the world.
the author was recommended the book White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack.
Time to read a biased article. Why in the world would I read a biased book too about white privilege, which just doesn't make sense, is also biased? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Oh boy. Thank God I'm almost done.
And I would like to just read a little excerpt from that. I can turn on the television or open to the front page of the paper and see people of my race widely represented. When I am told about our national heritage or about civilization, I am shown that people my color made it what it is. If a traffic cop pulls me over or if the IRS audits my tax return, I can be sure I haven't been singled out because of my race.
Obvious thing is obvious. You're not doing nothing wrong with the police or the taxes. You won't be singled out at all. Nothing will be said. Not at all. So I don't know where the person came to that conclusion from.
I can, if I wish, arrange to be in the company of people of my race most of the time. So then I started Googling more articles and taking quizzes, and I started realizing a lot of things that I've always taken for granted. My parents never had to teach me to not wear a hoodie in public.
Specifically, wearing a hoodie in public does not automatically send you to the police. If you're not doing nothing wrong, there should be no worries about you with the cops whatsoever. It should have no worries whatsoever. I understand like, the Trayvon Martin, yes. I do understand. I'm sorry for what happened to him. And I am. It was terrible. But what does wearing a hoodie in public have to do with anything, Gabby? My mother never taught me that, and I'm fine. I'm still here. As long as you're not doing nothing wrong and you follow the law and you follow what the officer's orders are, nothing will happen to you, Gabby. Not at all.
I have never been worried that I was being followed by a security guard in a store. When I approach somebody in a store or on the street or in a school, I am seen as a wholesome white girl.
You know what it is, Gabby? It's not because of your skin color. Look, you look like you wouldn't cause trouble at all. You look like the kind of person that would go like to Starbucks and going back. So it doesn't look like you're the kind of person that would cause trouble. Not at all. So that's why you wouldn't be singled out or anything like that. As long as you're not causing trouble and not being absolute wreck in public, nobody will say nothing to you. Not at all. Just go about your day and do nothing, and nobody will say nothing to you. Not at all.
And not a threat. I have never and probably will never have the words hooligan or thug used.
Acting like a hooligan or thug, I don't know what I should be used or why you should be worried about it. As long as you're not acting like it, so why are you worried about it if you're not doing that thing that they're saying? Come on. It's simple logic. Come on.
To describe me. People don't fear me for no reason. And I know for a fact that if my boyfriend was shot 4 times point blank in front of my 4-year-old daughter after following an officer's orders, that I would not feel obliged or conditioned to call his shooter sir.
Gabbie, I'll give you the same advice my mother gave me. Just follow the officer's orders so you can come back home safe. Always follow the officer's orders no matter what. Don't be hostile with them or don't try to attack them or be aggressive with them. Because if you do that, you're asking for an automatic death wish. I'm sorry. Just follow the officer's orders and you come back home safely. And if they did something wrong, you can sue them later. So just always follow the officer's orders no matter what, and that way you can be safe. Remember that, kids. Follow the officer's orders and you can always be safe. And you'll come back home without a scratch on you.
The thing that you need to remember is having white privilege doesn't make you a bad person, but denying that it exists is extremely detrimental to societal growth.
It isn't, Gabbie. The reason people deny it is because it's not true. There's no white privilege. It's just working hard for everything you have in your life. One last time I'm going to say it. You work hard for everything you have in life, so it's not privilege. They can't help that their parents worked hard for everything they have in their life. So for you to call it privilege and for you to demonize them for having the things that they have is repulsive and disgusting, and I don't agree with that at all.
No one is telling you that having white privilege means you've never struggled or that you are racist or that you've never worked hard for what you have.
Gabbie, it does say that. It does say you have privilege under you being white, and you have never worked hard for anything in your life. That's the literal meaning that Black Lives Matter is using. That you have white skin, therefore you have not struggled, you have not worked hard for anything. That's the literal definition, literal meaning Black Lives Matter is using. How can you not see that, Gabbie, at all? How can you be so blind and have blinders on for you to not see that? That's sad for you to do that.
But it's very important that we take the time now to look inward and reflect and do some research. I'll be linking some articles and quizzes and things down below that really help me understand what I just didn't before, and I really, really hope that they help you too.
My privilege to a broke white person. The problem with saying all lives matter, I've been told to check your privilege and check myprivilege.com/quiz. Yeah, I would definitely want to check those things out. That definitely won't ruin my day. Yay, I'll do that during afternoon activity while having my celery and my Starbucks. No, I don't want to do that because it's not full of nothing but BLM, SJW rhetoric, which I stand against. So I will not be checking out those things. Don't check out those things, kids, because those things will confuse you and have you being guilty for something that you shouldn't be guilty for. Not at all.
My final word is that I am so incredibly sad by everything that's been happening lately, and I pray that we all are. Alton Sterling, Philando Castillo, the Dallas officers, Orlando, Christina Grimmie. It has been a really rough few weeks. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that it probably starts with us all having a better understanding of each other so that we're not so fearful of one another.
My condolences to all those people. My condolences to the families of all those people. Second of all, yet you're joining a movement that seeks to divide more than it joins, and you say, let's join together and do stuff. But that movement that you're associated with, Black Lives Matter, seeks to divide more than it seeks to join. All the racists is saying that Black lives matter more than any other life on this planet, and only that. And if you say anything else than that, you're a bigot towards Black people, or if you're a Black person saying that, you're a coon. So I don't know why you're joining that movement at all. It seeks to divide more than it joins. Trademark 2017.
So I'm inviting you guys to keep the conversation going. If you're afraid to speak, speak. Let's all have a respectful, open dialogue. Tell me how you feel. If I'm wrong on something, please check me. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm always open to learning more, and if there's something that you can teach me, please teach it to me.
To have an open dialogue with you, Gabbie. I'll be tweeting this video to you later today and to your Twitter account to see like if you have willing to have an open dialogue with me and like for you to check out my video and see what you say. I wanted to have an open dialogue with you, Gabbie, to teach you some things and like to inform you on some things that you didn't know before, and so you won't be so misinformed on some things next time. So I'll be tweeting you later, Gabbie. If you want to tweet me back, my Twitter handle is going to be right here. It's at Electric Load. And I will keep the conversation going with you and just see like what kind of open dialogue you will have. Or if you will block me for having a different opinion than you do.
me. When you're approaching other people with things that you want to talk about, don't try to prove each other wrong. Let's just try to show each other what's right. I think we're really not hearing each other. Let's not let this topic go away, and let's not wait until the next life is lost before we start trending these hashtags.
To have an open dialogue, like I said, with you, Gabbie. So let's have open dialogue and let's hear what you say in response to my video. Okay, Gabbie? All right.
Again, let's keep the conversation going, and stay safe. Everybody, stay safe.
You too, Gabbie. You stay safe, okay? Have a great day. That's gonna be it for me, guys, my electrolytes. The 3 videos are gonna be in the description. This video, the catcalling video, and my original rants. So have a great day, guys. Stay awesome, and see you in the next video.